and gentlemen, welcome to the latest episode of the DarkMatch. Yes, you're not hearing things. They actually managed to drag Genghis out of the rehab clinic for the night. I am here, sober for once, which is a damn shame because we are talking about a fucking Impact pay-per-view. But anyway,
you
I am
poor
not
soul.
alone. Yes, we are here tonight. I am joined by...
I am the fat one that they call Subric, exceedingly happy tonight, as you can tell.
I'm the match striker of DarkMatch, Mega Fighter Free.
And I am your Fox from Backlash. And who said that? I'll kill you! I'll kill you all! I see you when you sleep!
This is
Oh,
our
so you're the
natural
person that was
attitude.
standing outside my window with the bunny suit last night.
Yes, folks, you might see me a bit more crazy tonight. You see, I didn't get much sleep, and I watched this pay-per-view twice!
Talking like the gym teacher on Daria.
But yes, we are
Maybe
one...
you should just do the Sheik tweet with that voice.
You know what? First, I'm going to say 1 year ago, we broke down, and we had probably the clusterfuckiest show that we've ever done. A show that could not be contained in one episode, and it's just a shame that this pay-per-view was so meh compared to the craptastic crapfest that was Victory Road 2011. But anyways, first, I'm getting ahead of myself because, hey, what's Iron Sheik tweeting? Ahem. The Denver, Colorado takes the Peyton Manning. They intelligent Jews, and I'd be happy if they win. Indianapolis team can go fuck themselves.
Okay.
We are officially speechless. We have nothing further to say about the Iron Sheik.
In the words of Captain Malcolm Reynolds. Huh.
I don't know what reference that was, but okay.
Oh, what the hell?
If you have no idea what I'm talking about, watch a show called Firefly. You'll thank me.
It's a very referential night tonight.
I've seen bits of Serenity, though.
Ain't the same. Watch the show.
Anyway, welcome. We are about to talk about Victory Road 2012. I'll say this, it was not as bad as last year.
But is that really a positive? Because at least that was one of our greatest moments ever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this, for Victory Road 2012, everyone was sober.
Well,
Hey,
can never be
Victory
too
Road
unsure.
As far as we can
Victory
tell.
Victory Road has a happy thing because it puts me and Genghis on the same show each year. We need some Burt Reynolds in here and it'll be all fine soon.
Well,
somehow that happened. Yeah.
Him and his glorious mustache.
Well, here's the thing, because we start off the show going to Mike Tenay and Taz at the booth, and they're talking about Twitter. And we bring
remember, first thing out of their mouth, it's the road to lockdown.
Yes, in fact, let's not even call this pay-per-view Victory Road anymore. It's just the Lockdown pre-show.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be talking more about Twitter tonight because Lord knows they talked about it more.
You know,
but there was a lot. Let's not forget just how much talk there was tonight. Don't forget, in a month we have Lockdown, the important show.
You know, I almost want to bitch about how pointless it is that they put so much stock into Lockdown. Bound for Glory is supposed to be their big show. But you know what? Tonight's not the night, and there's so much more to bitch about. Because, like I said, we start with Mike Tenay and Taz talking about Twitter and encouraging people to ask questions with the hashtag Victory Road. And if you forget that, there are banners all around the Impact Zone that say hashtag Victory Road.
And every backstage segment of this show is all about Twitter.
and there was the thing behind Tenay and Taz that had a freaking Twitter feed going on in the background.
And you know,
in one night.
Wrestling companies, if you want to copy the WWE's ideas, it's fucking wrestling. Nobody cares. Just do it. But don't copy the bad ones.
No. Genghis. We were informed by a very astute fan of TNA that TNA was doing Twitter long before WWE was.
Oh, so they were
So
sucked.
they're original.
Yes. In one night, TNA
Oh,
has
God.
gone far beyond WWE's worst Twitter manias. There was more tweeting and Twitter talk in the first 30 minutes of this show than there was in the entirety of Raw Gets Rocked last year.
We'll get to the tweeting.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll
Yes,
get back
not
to
not
that.
not to mention that Twitter let Eric Bischoff intrude on a segment that he wasn't supposed to be in, but we'll get to that.
But yeah, we'll start with our first match, and I know you can't see it at home, but I'm putting the word match in air quotes because we have Bully Ray coming out to the ring to hold the show hostage. How the hell
Dun
even
dun
works that?
dun!
For those who
Because
don't know this,
apparently on YouTube, on TNA's YouTube page, he recorded a video saying that he wants the #1 contendership and he wants it right now, and until he gets it, he's holding the show hostage.
that sounded half Brooklyn, half British.
British, really?
Brooklish.
Whatever. I'm beyond the point of caring.
Yes. Yes, Backlash will slowly lose his mind tonight.
This is gonna be fun.
Maybe for you, but yes, Bully Ray comes out. And he repeats the same thing he said on YouTube. He wants his #1 contendership, so of course this brings out the #1 contender, James Storm, who proceeds to mock him for always trying to put over his calves, saying that he has chicken legs. And it was at this point that I got hungry.
The fun thing is that when they when he mentioned the whole calves thing, they didn't even show his calves.
He did. He was pointing
They
at
showed
him.
the front of his legs, but they didn't show the part that he usually emphasizes.
And this is a run. I haven't watched Impact in forever, so this is a gimmick now.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's that thread on the boards that's like name all the TNA gimmicks in 3 words, and
2
Bully
words.
Ray's Bully Ray's like calves and more calves.
Yep.
No, that's all he talked.
Yeah.
Calves and Twitter. That's what that post was.
Yeah, calves and Twitter.
Yeah.
Tweeting about his
Twittermania
calves.
is running wild.
No, Twittermania's running wild, brother.
Oh God.
Yes.
TNA made me hate.
So this match, we talked more about the pre-part of this match than the actual match took place.
You know why? Because the pre-match was longer than the match. Because all that happens is they get in the ring, Bully Ray smacks James Storm around. He goes for the beer bottle, but he drops it, spilling all the beer, and then eats a last call super kick.
1, 2,
Winner
3.
James Storm.
Match is over in less than a minute.
Squash match. That's how we start.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Hey,
Although,
there's
there are reasons for this because apparently James Storm had knee surgery like a week ago,
Okay, fair enough. But
Yeah.
still, it's just like
which, perils of taping all your television a month ahead of time.
Yeah. No,
And
here's the big question of sadness: which will be the worst? Which will be worse? TNA opening a pay-per-view with a squash match, or WWE opening WrestleMania with Jericho versus Punk?
That's not confirmed, but they could.
at the very least, it won't be a squash match there. So
you'd think that Jericho versus Punk would go on after Bryan versus Sheamus.
Sheamus was the Rumble winner, though, so.
Yeah, but Del Rio was the Rumble winner last year, and look what happened.
Yeah.
You got a point there.
But then again, there were other reasons behind that. But anyways, we can't talk
We're
about
stalling, ladies and gentlemen.
we can't talk about WWE because apparently we're closet WWE fanboys who just bash on TNA for all of our problems. Yeah. Yes,
are you gonna keep bringing that guy up?
he amuses me.
We don't get hate mail that often, so
Well,
on
then
the
again,
rare
he did
occasions we
heart
do.
Lars, so
Yeah.
That's-
No, Lars went on there and started love festing TNA, and this guy bought it.
oh, that's awesome.
God. But anyways,
next match.
Well, first we have a promo.
Oh yeah,
Wait,
the first fucking it's Twitter promo of the night.
Mm-hmm.
It's Jeremy Borash. He's trying to interview Austin Aries, and then out comes Eric Bischoff, who somehow got fat and has a John Waters mustache.
And this might just be me, but he sounded a lot like J.K. Simmons for some reason. Just like
There's a fundamental difference though. J.K. Simmons is entertaining.
it's this and Bully Ray going, "Do you know who I am?" I just almost the first half hour was just Portal 2 going through my head.
But yeah, Eric Bischoff interrupts Jeremy Borash trying to interview Austin Aries, and Jeremy Borash, he's just like, he's trying to act dumbfounded at this, but not really getting it across, and he just sort of walks off in defeat.
So he looks like he always does.
Yeah.
Fucking tool. Hey, you telling more strippers about how you're owning TNA these days, Jeremy? Anyway.
But yeah, so Bischoff does a Twitter interview with Austin Aries. That's how all the backstage interviews are conducted, by one or two fan questions from Twitter.
And usually they just kind of ignore the question to go on to whatever their pre-canned promo was anyway. It's like Sarah Palin at a debate. He's like, well, that's an interesting question, but I want to talk about this.
You know what? I'll also be... You know what? If any of these tweets that they were reading on the show weren't from planted accounts, I'll drive to Mega Fighter's house and blow him.
Get your loop ready, Mega Fighter.
It sure looked like that's what Bischoff wanted to do to Austin Aries in this segment.
What?
He was basically just came right out and was like, Austin Aries, you're so awesome. Let me just get down here and
Get your bacon lube ready.
So yeah, I guess Austin Aries is an immortal now because everyone is an immortal because it's fucking NWO overtime. God, I'm sick of this show already.
I'm not even sure what Immortal is anymore.
Neither.
Immortal is the amalgamation of every heel in the company. So our match is...
It is the old world order.
So our match is Zema Ion versus Austin Aries. Here we have the one guy who broke the neck of the company's biggest up-and-coming babyface and is happy about it, gloating about it on a weekly basis, and the guy who just got his dick sucked by Eric Bischoff. Who do we cheer for again?
Well, Twitter! As it turns out, Austin Aries.
We cheer for Twitter because during this match, Austin Aries takes a timeout to tweet.
Yeah.
Does anyone have that tweet ready? Because I'd like to read it.
I think it was just like, I'm awesome or something.
They read it on the air.
To that effect. Yeah. About a minute later, Taz quoted the entire thing on commentary, and God, did they not shut up about Twitter all night long.
I do remember that every other word was hashtagged.
It was hashtag great over and over again, so I think I can actually get it right now.
Well, this show sucked about 15, maybe 16 dicks.
Fucking wrestle! Doing a
I have a decent feeling that Backlash is gonna have a Spoonie level breakdown tonight.
Ooh, this is gonna be fun.
I'm gonna wait for him to just like shout wrestle. Yes. We have the Austin Aries tweet, by the way, and it says, "Load up, you."
By we, he means he. In just a moment.
Sorry, that page doesn't exist.
What?
What bullshit is that?
What?
Somewhat, they deleted the Austin Aries tweet that he did.
I have it right in front of me.
It's a. Well, here's what it says. It's a hashtag great in all capitals, day to be hashtag great in all capitals.
And by the way,
a
from the amount of
ellipses.
time he spent typing, he was already logged in on that phone.
Yeah.
Especially considering he grabbed the phone from SoCal Val, implying it was her phone.
Yeah.
So how did it hook up to his Twitter?
We've still got the rest of the Austin Aries tweet, ellipses, and a hashtag great in all capitals day to hashtag tweet live, hashtag TGMTEL greater than sign at Zima TNA hashtag victory road. What the fuck does TGMTEL stand for?
Greatest man to ever live?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Holy crap,
Yeah.
I won the no prize!
Yes, you win the
Something
prize.
something
of getting
Slender
to-
Man.
You get, yes, congratulations. You get the prize of getting to sit through the rest of this with us.
What the hell are
Yay!
we doing
Wait,
here?
So yeah, they have the match. It's okay.
It's right, but the crowd was so confused that they didn't know who to chant for, and eventually they just got behind Austin Aries.
No, at first, but then they did a whole bunch of Larry Zbyszko stalling to start off this fast-paced X Division Championship match, and that got across pretty quickly. Boo Zima Ion, cheer the other guy.
Yes, well, to the extent of my knowledge, Austin Aries has never broken another guy's neck before.
Yeah. Although, if they intentionally booked this entire thing to make him the de facto babyface, which they did, why the Eric Bischoff promo? Why make him look like the biggest dick heel in the entire world before the match starts?
I'd say Shades of Grey, but Russo isn't here anymore. So
Well,
Russo never did
according to
Shades
what
of
we
So
were
Grey.
just-
talking about last night, the other night on the Impact review, apparently his stories have been written so far in advance, and they're just rolling with it. So it's Russo writing without the Russo gimmicks. God help us.
Ugh.
That sounds
They keep
so
rolling,
terrible.
rolling. Yeah.
No. I will
Come
find
on.
you. I will find you, and I will burn that sandwich you are eating.
It was pizza, and it's gone now.
You know what?
What
I miss it.
I hope it had anchovies on it.
The one thing that was noteworthy in this match was Zema Ion did that Acai moonsault, the same one that he broke Jesse Sorensen's neck with, and they tried to play it up like Austin Aries broke his neck too, because
Yeah.
they did that whole
Briefly.
thing. No, stay away from him. Oh,
Yeah.
fuck TNA so hard.
And man,
There was
and the
there
sad
one
part
other
was
little
is that.
thing.
Go ahead.
There was Zima in space after he failed to get the pin.
So yeah,
The
this
sad
match
part
happened.
was probably match of the night, at least from the part that I saw. They had a lot of really good spots. I mean, they were
And
just.
it was still an extremely average match.
And I mean, Zima Ion took this one fucking bump to the floor where he just fell down, went boom, in this Mick Foley kind of ow looking way, which was and still intentional, where you just feel bad for the guy, and they still fucking ruined it with the booking in so many ways. And we haven't even gotten to my biggest pet peeve is the hairspray. You know, Zima Ion has deadly hairspray as his gimmick. And I guess he got it on loan from the beautiful people. Uh, about halfway through this match, he takes this hairspray and shoves it down his pants. It stays there for the next 3 hours until they go home. At which point he pulls it out and hairsprays Austin Aries right in the face. And Austin Aries is like, ow, I can't see. Fortunately, I am Zatoichi, and I will just kick the shit out of you anyway. Brainbuster 1, 2, 3. I mean,
It wasn't a pinfall. He tapped him out with the last chancery.
Yeah, that's right. With that flippy thingy he did, it was really cool. It's the first time I've seen him do it. But I'm more used to him with the brainbuster from old days of Ring of Honor. But
It says right here, Aries ends up powerbombing Zima to the mat, brainbuster win.
yeah, he just basically gets up and he's like, "Well, I can't see, but that's a mild annoyance. I'm just gonna beat you anyway."
Who the hell needs eyes, anyways?
if he's going to win clean like that, I mean, of all times, this is the one moment where if you're going to have Austin Aries get sprayed in the face but still win this match, this is the time to do a fucking roll up because it makes sense here. But no, he just gets up and like it's like Neo at the end of the Matrix, where he's just bored blocking all of Agent Smith's moves with one hand. I mean, he's not even trying. It's just like, yeah, whatever. Time to take this home. Boom.
Yeah, so this match happened.
And
It
it
was-
kills Zima's gimmick with the with the hairspray, because why at any point after this should he ever beat anyone with that again? Because it apparently just doesn't work. He might as well be spraying silly string on them.
I
So
think
you
you
want
just
him
thought
to
up his
Don't give
next
TNA
Ragavan?
any ideas.
You just thought up his next gimmick.
Demon Ion
Silly
is
Silly
Arachnaman.
Doom.
All right. Well, we've talked enough about this match. Let's talk about the one good thing on this pay-per-view. Because after this match, they air a promo hyping the return of the Motor City Machine Guns. Can I get a hallelujah?
Hallelujah!
Hallelujah.
And considering that both of these guys are very injury prone, I'm expecting Chris Sabin to get re-injured the first night back.
No.
I'll
It's
give it
gonna
a
go
month.
with a cycle.
No.
It's Shelley
Alex
gets
Shelley's
injured,
gonna get
then
hurt. It's his
Shelley.
turn.
Speaking of which, is Chris Sabin cleared to compete yet?
I don't.
I don't know.
We'll find out.
He's been gone for like ever.
Feels like 5 years.
It's at least a year, and I just always remember the same night that Alex Shelley returned from his broken collarbone was the exact same night that Chris Sabin suffered his knee injury.
Hmm.
You half
Yeah.
expect that Sabin's gonna return and then Shelley's gonna get injured.
That's exactly what I think is going to happen. But you know what? The Machine Guns are coming back, and even if it's just for one night, hooray, the tag team division might actually mean something again. Speaking of which, up next, Matt Morgan and Crimson versus Magnus and Samoa Joe for the tag team titles.
Woohoo.
Who the fuck
Where
do we
it-
cheer for?
Magnus and Samoa Joe because they can actually wrestle.
Magnus
They
can
don't know
wrestle?
that.
They're the heel.
Even if Magnus can't wrestle that well, at least he's able to call out Eric Bischoff on his bullshit.
I just don't think he's any better than Sam Morgan is, but this match
Well, you
is
have to
just...
admit he's better than Crimson.
Yeah, I mean, Crimson's great. Crimson's getting there. They put him on TV too soon. I mean, he just needed some more seasoning, because I mean, I remember when I personally announced one of that guy's first matches in late 2009, I believe, and it wasn't like 6 months later he's on TV. I mean, he was just... You need more time. I mean, not everybody's a Kurt Angle who you can just throw on TV and they're instantly great. Most people take a while.
Well,
This
they
is-
have their own developmental facilities now.
which
So-
which they're not using as a developmental facility. They're using it as shelf space.
Yeah, it's basically just to have like tryouts and take people's money, isn't it?
No, not even. That's just what they send people
Or is that
they're
the-
not
what the
using. Like
WWE is
Jesse
doing?
Neal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that instead of sending them to like to the developmentals like WWE does some of the time, they'll just not do anything with them. They'll let them sit home. They'll Lanny Pofo them.
Yeah, and it's not like there aren't enough decent indies with good reputations out there that they couldn't be sending these guys to. But TNA, anytime they send a guy anytime one of their guys works for the indies, TNA expects the indie to pay them.
So don't have impact.
Yeah, it's like, okay, little tiny indie running out of a National Guard armory, time for you to pay the company backed by Spike TV and Panda Energy.
So we have this match, and there's really nothing I can say about it.
No fucks were given.
Yeah.
God,
The
I'm
only
just
thing of
so
note that
excited.
happens in this entire match is that Crimson is a bad guy now.
Yeah,
What?
Crimson turns
That's-
on Morgan.
That's implying he was a good guy before.
Yet there is nothing in how this match has worked that tells you exactly who we're supposed to be cheering. I mean, because at the beginning it kind of seems like Joe and Magnus are the baby faces when Crimson is in, but when Morgan comes in, they bump like heels, and it's just none of this made any goddamn sense.
And I can kind of see why they're bringing back the machine guns now, because they realize that having Morgan and Crimson split up means there's no other tag teams in the tag team division.
They're really the only other tag team that can really be considered something of a tag team is ODB and Eric Young.
And
They're
they're
the
the
Knockouts
Knockouts
tag
division.
team.
They're Knockouts tag team champions. I have to remember that.
Yeah, then they're not allowed to like touch each other on Spike.
Yeah.
Spike, the Man Network, where women are portrayed as being so helpless that they couldn't possibly fight back against a dude, even when they look like ODB.
Yeah.
Are we sure this is Spike
I've
and
had
not Lifetime?
ODB.
Just,
Dude, I
just
have had.
remember the days of when Jacqueline Moore would beat Chavo Guerrero for men's belts.
Not anymore. I mean, let me put it
Yeah.
this way. I have, for most of my life, weighed, adult life, weighed around between 210 to 230. I was at a show one time in which ODB at ringside literally picked me up, put me over her shoulder, and carried me back to the locker room. That's a fearsome woman. This is not someone you need to be afraid of showing get hit by a dude, okay? She could handle herself.
Yeah. So
Anyway,
we have that, and Crimson's a bad guy. By the way, Crimson's saying he's still undefeated, even though he
team
lost the
loses
tag belts.
but
Yep.
It's the Andre the Giant method of being undefeated.
yeah, undefeated
Except for like
He's never
these
been-
5
never been-
times where he lost. Then he's undefeated.
No, it's not so much. It's not an undefeated streak. It's a never been pinned or tapped out streak.
yeah. I mean, at least it's not as bad as the WWE eventually got with Kali, when they're like, and Kali has never been tapped out by a left-handed man on a Wednesday.
Remember when Bobby Lashley was undefeated for the first 4 months he was there? Like the only thing of note that I remember him doing in those first 4 months was stuffing a cheeseburger into Simon Dean's mouth.
What?
That was his very first gimmick. Is he faced Simon Dean at No Mercy 2005, where if Simon Dean lost, he would have to eat a cheeseburger.
Because, healthy people don't eat cheeseburgers and shit.
Yes. When you're a wrestler, you live on fast food.
Yeah, pretty much. Couldn't tell you the number of Taco Bells and Waffle Houses and places of that variety.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
not that I'm a wrestler, but that I was with the wrestlers after the show.
Well, it probably would be hilarious, like being with the Big Show at a fast food place and watching him eat.
I'll have one of
Yeah.
each.
So yeah, Magnus and Joe won. We go back to Jeremy Borash, and he's doing the Twitter wall thing, but he says this. He says, "I apologize for what happened earlier with Eric Bischoff. What can I say about him that hasn't already been said in the past 20 years?"
Is some kind of a deal where, like, Bischoff in an interview or something bitched about Borash doing some shit, and they're making it into an angle, kind of?
What happened was Bischoff tweeted that Jeremy Borash had identified himself as an owner of TNA at a strip club, and Bischoff got pissed off about it.
Yeah, he's like, hey, if you're gonna go to a strip club and talk about being the boss of a promotion, actually do it like I did in the Gold Club of Atlanta when I was the boss of the promotion. Beside the point.
But yeah, this promo is meh, because they don't even talk about the pay-per-view. They're talking about Lockdown.
Yeah, but hang on about Borash. I still remember I knew some wrestlers who were friends with strippers in Nashville
Oh
that
Christ!
TNA was running.
Uh,
Borash, remember back when
No, I want to hear the story. Shut up.
back in the weekly pay-per-views they'd have the cage dancers in TNA?
Yeah.
And basically
The
just
Nitro Girls?
yeah, basically anytime that they would go to a commercial on a regular show, they'd just like cut to the cage dancers for a minute. Yeah, Borash used to, according to some friends of mine who knew strippers, go trolling some of the clubs saying, well, yeah, if you give me a free lap dance, I could see how about getting you a tryout to be one of our cage dancers.
This was Borash?
Yep.
Oh, man. Did it work?
Yep.
Well,
Strippers are kind of like wrestlers.
it's not
A lot
the
of
hardest.
people
You know,
think-
being a TNA cage dancing girl isn't the hardest thing in the world. Just shake your ass vaguely in time to the theme music.
Oh, you think
could
that's
do
all they
that.
expected those girls to do? Anyway.
Well, it is Eric Bischoff running the company, so
No, this was back when it was Jerry Jarrett and a clusterfuck of other people.
no, it was Jeff Jarrett, Jerry Jarrett, those are the
And
only
a
two I
clusterfuck
remember.
of other people.
Yeah, that back when they had the flying Elvises.
oh my
Look
God!
at
Who
that.
cares? We're talking
So-
about Victory Road. God damn it!
But we don't wanna.
You know, we could always just divert off and talk about the first Victory Road back in 2004. It would still be a Victory Road.
I think that was the first match involving Jeff Jarrett versus Sting, as I recall.
No, it was Jeff Jarrett versus Jeff Hardy in a ladder match.
Oh.
Where we got the formation of the Kings of Wrestling, aka NWO version 9D5.
Yeah.
So now we get after all that stalling, you can tell that we're in pain, folks. Robbie E and Robbie T, who surprisingly looks smaller.
Although they did get one laugh out of me, which was a rare thing all night long when they did the gimmick where he's letting him through the little velvet rope they have across the rampway, and then he's putting his hand into the camera like paparazzi style.
Uh-huh.
That was cute.
Genghis, you haven't been watching Impact. That shit has
No.
gotten old.
Yeah, I'd imagine that if they've done it 5,000
That's
times,
just
you're
a
wanting
basic
to
part of his entrance.
set the velvet
Oh,
rope
by
on
the way,
fire. But the
he
first
had
time the first time I see it, it was cute.
But
Oh,
you
yeah,
know what?
he also
This segment
up
pissed
there
me
had
off.
a-
This segment pissed me off because they get in the ring and he talks about how he's going to do this open challenge, but apparently the entire roster is booked in matches. Do you know how big your roster is?
He
He's not
means
counting
all
the
the
people.
roster that sort of matters.
So wait, does that logically mean that it includes the women?
He's not counting anybody who creative doesn't have anything for right now, silly.
Oh,
Although, I
Might as
mean,
well
we
count
had
the roster.
champions who were not at this show. I mean, ODB and Eric Young, they officially got belts. Not here. I mean, RVD, not here. I mean, there are a bunch of people not here. Tommy Dreamer, not here.
Tommy Dreamer's
Dreamer
been
was
fired.
released.
Oh, he was?
Fired
Hey,
since like
no, Dreamer isn't retired. He's still doing indie shows.
no,
Remember?
he got fired from TNA like back in June.
Well, that tells you how much the difference is between being fired and having creative have nothing for you. They look identical in this company.
Oh my God! But this promo just keeps going on because he's like, well, I can't challenge anyone on the roster. How about I challenge someone in the crowd? And you think, oh, it's gonna be a plant, someone from OVW, and this is gonna be a
This
running.
goes on forever.
And then we get Devon Dudley.
Fucking Devon.
Yeah, he
Who
suddenly
saw
returned.
that coming?
Yeah. Nobody. No one remembered he still worked here.
It would appear that Devon's no longer feuding with Pope, who's still stuck on the house shows.
Yes, jobbing to referees from OVW, no less.
Oh, how far
So
you fallen.
this match, nothing really of note happens except for the result. But there's one moment in here that was so pointless. I don't know why they did it. They're outside. and Robbie E is trying to get a chair from a fan, but the fan takes the chair from him and sits back down in it. And who would be that fan but Brooke Hogan?
Ah!
What the fuck is she's? Why?
Because
There's
she's
no
a future
point.
Knockouts tag champion, brother.
No, if
Jake
there's
is such a
anyone,
whoremouth.
if there's any one woman that's gonna be a male champion in Hogan's TNA, it's Brooke fucking Hogan.
Yeah.
Because we gotta give Brooke Hogan scream time.
Because, she's had such an excellent singing career, right, guys?
Mhm. Why does this remind me of this one comic called Botched Spot, which once did a comic about how all of Stephanie's kids in the future were champion, including at one point her giving birth directly onto the chest of the Intercontinental Champion who was laid out 1, 2, 3.
That sounds awesome.
But
Actually,
anyway.
that is a mental image that will scar me for the rest of my life. Thank you for that.
Can you find that? Can you find that
No!
strip?
No! Absolutely not!
I want to haunt Backlash's nightmares.
Show the screenshot right now.
Fuck you! I'm the editor! I'm not showing shit!
Don't actually see it.
Okay,
Anyway.
okay, Mirror Daniel
So,
Bryan, we
this
got you.
match, yeah, this match, nothing happened except for the Brooke Hogan spot. Why? I don't know. And then Rob Terry gets involved, and Devon knocks him down. Devon hits his finisher, whatever it is. It doesn't say. Your new TNA TV champion, Brother Devon fucking Dudley.
Now,
Oh,
here's
wait,
the thing.
now I get why Brooke was there.
Uh-huh.
I get why Brooke was
What?
there, because they couldn't have Garrett there, and they needed to force the nepotism in there somehow.
Why wasn't Garrett there, by the way? He's been so heavily pushed on the shows recently.
I don't know.
I don't care either. Why do you care?
And Eric was.
Stop
But I'm
that.
just
Stop
pointing out
that.
it's another trend of all these guys who just aren't on the fucking pay-per-views. It's just strange. But here's the thing.
Why are you
Once
complaining Garrett Bischoff is not on the pay-per-view? Garrett Bischoff not being on the pay-per-view is nothing but a good thing. Shut your whore mouth.
I agree with that part, but going
The
back
shut
to
your
the
whore
match,
mouth part?
you don't know where I've been. Going back to the match, once the bell rang, I actually liked it. It was quick, got the point across. Devon looked excited. Devon was trying hard. Devon was happy to be there. Devon did not look 52 or however old he
Because
is.
you know what? TNA is putting a singles belt on him before they're putting one on Bully Ray.
Which is odd, considering that Bully Ray's been the pushed guy of the two. Every time they're broken up, that happens, but... Anyway, but he did a good job. Rob Echoes is always good in his role, so they just had a decent little match. Hey, clean finish. How many times does that happen tonight? It's the first time, I believe.
No, the James Storm Bubba Ray thing. It was
Yeah, but there was still, he went to go get that beer, so not exactly. And
Yeah, but now we go backstage, and we have Borash again, the Twitter wall again, and Dixie Carter. Wrestling.
Hey, you know what?
Congratulations, Backlash. That was more emotion than Dixie Carter has ever displayed in her
You know
life.
what? This was probably the worst promo of the night because A, Dixie Carter, and B, not only was she not talking about Victory Road, she was so far ahead that she was all the way in July because she's talking Slammiversary.
Mm-hmm.
And how
She's
Slammiversary
putting over. She says
because this is going to be TNA's 10th anniversary. They've been around for 10 eye-gouging years, and they're having it in the most distinguished place, Dixie's hometown. A place that has nothing to do with TNA history.
Yeah.
It is a
the hometown of Dallas, except it's really in Arlington.
Nashville. Go to Nashville.
Actually, no, don't go to Nashville. Go to Birmingham, Alabama. That's where they had the first two TNA shows.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what the fuck
Dixie
the name of
been
the
in the
arena
company?
was, but it certainly looks more like an arena than the Impact Zone.
They could go to the Rinka King Arena.
Yeah,
that would be kind of cool.
What? Go to India and don't come back.
Poochie died on the way back to his home planet.
They all got food poisoning from the Indian food.
We apologize to the people of India for that statement.
On the other hand, they did inflict us with Sanjay Dutt.
Boo!
Well, you do
No,
not like that
no.
guy.
India, they may have given us the Great Khali, but they also gave us Fredo Pinto in Slumdog Millionaire.
They also
Oh,
gave
yeah,
us
you
Jinder
put that
Mahal,
there.
though, so...
Oh, yeah, there
Yeah, but
we
also,
go.
they also, don't forget, they gave us Dev Patel's horrific performance in The Last Airbender movie.
What? Summer, go sit in the corner.
There is no corner.
Wait,
Dead in the corner.
Mega, are you trying to defend the last Airbender movie?
No. He's saying that Dev Patel did a great performance in that movie.
No, I said Dev Patel did a terrible performance in that movie. He did a great performance in Slumdog Millionaire, and then the very next fucking movie, he does The Last Airbender.
Is the guy who
You
played
said-
Ahmed on Community from
The
India?
Last Airbender. You go sit in the corner.
What, Aziz Ansari? I think he's from the Middle East.
Hmm.
Wait, actually,
Anyway, watch Rinka King,
India,
people. It's pretty good.
India sucks because they gave us Jinder Mahal.
Yeah,
Very
three
good.
don't eat on the
They
bad.
gave us Jinder Mahal, and they gave us Tiger Ali Singh and his 2011 version, Jinder Mahal.
Actually, Tiger Ali is Tiger Jeet's kid, and Tiger Jeet is like from Canada, as I recall.
But yeah, we're just stalling because we don't want to talk about the knockouts.
Fuck no, it's because we never even finished the Dixie promo. But God,
So,
Yeah.
What more is there to say?
she says
They
she'd be
kind-
there ringside for the main event.
Oh, good,
Yeah.
because that's pivotal.
She's an enforcer now.
Yay.
Okay, and on to
she's
the
on Mike
knockouts.
Tyson
And
level of wrestling enforcement.
on to the knockouts. And was it just me, or was this the longest video package of the night for some reason?
I think it was.
Went on forever talking about how these girls were friends, but now they're not, and then they were friends again, but now they're not, and oh God, I mean the stupidity of bringing back Gail Kim, the single greatest female babyface this company's ever had, promptly turning her heel, and then having her feud with Madison Rayne, another heel.
Don't forget, they also stopped all the knockout plans they had just because Galen and put both belts on her.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, this match happened. It was long as fuck. It was like 10 times longer than the average WWE women's match.
Then again, at least it was like also 10 times better than the untrained divas. At least,
Yeah,
I mean, would
I'll
you-
be honest. As far as knockout,
you want to see a Bella Twin versus Rosa Mendez going this long?
as far as knockouts matches, this was not that bad because you've got two skilled workers in there at least, which is more than you can ask for with people like Velvet Sky working for this company.
Although they're both heels, and unlike the cruiserweight match, they made no attempt to even subtly indicate to the audience, okay, you really should be cheering this one. No, this was just a back and forth match where both of them were wrestling identically, and
Yeah, the crowd was dead. I could hear the air conditioners running. The only thing you could hear over the sound of this was Taz and TNA talking about Twitter.
yeah. And in every single match, at least once or twice, they'd show a little Twitter symbol on the screen.
Just like WWE.
So it's
But TNA did it first. They're original.
I think we're all broken at this point.
Yes, all of our pictures have multiple layers of broken glass on them.
And anyway, and the knockouts did shit, and they were trying, but nobody cared, and Gail Kim won.
Yep.
Woohoo.
With Chuck
So that
Taylor's
match happened. No one gives a fuck. Going backstage to JB and Twitter.
Yep. We
He's
had
backstage
Borash
with
and Twitter and
Dan-
Borash and Twitter and Borash and Twitter and Borash and Twitter and Borash and Twitter, and then Kazarian and Daniels.
Yeah. And
they cut a
Daniels-
promo
Daniels
which made no
cuts
sense.
Daniels cuts the best interview of the night. Just because it's Daniels.
I didn't understand anything they were talking about. They didn't provide the backstory for any of this shit, so they're making just references to stuff that I was clueless about.
Yeah,
And
Genghis, let me fill you in. Christopher Daniels and AJ Styles have been feuding since, I'd say, about the beginning of time. And
about 1999, I believe.
and then Daniels said something to Kazarian that made him turn on AJ, but they won't tell us what it is. And at first,
Uh,
Kazarian was a reluctant heel, but then he's like, "Oh, I'm in this for myself. I'm not going to explain shit." And then AJ Styles is like, "Hey, creative hates me, so Mr. Anderson's taking my spot."
No,
and this is going to end up being like, Kaz, your secret is you shot your father 3 times in the back and paralyzed him.
I wonder if they're just gonna have it be. It's just gonna be that Kaz's secret is gonna be that his wife fucked Eric Bischoff.
That's what we've been saying for so goddamn long. Oh my god.
Oh, they
Except
Bates
it's
Angles
not a
and
secret
Shields.
because they said it on TV. They showed it on TV.
Well, you know what?
Remind me what happened?
Terry,
Tracy
Tracy
Brooks.
Brooks.
When
Terry,
Tracy Brooks
whatever
came back,
fucking name.
no. When Tracy
that-
Brooks came back, she seduced Eric Bischoff and slept with him in order to become Knockouts Law again. And then
Oh.
Eric Bischoff said, "Fuck you, I'm giving it to Karen Jarrett instead."
And Kazarian the whole time was like, I'm okay with this.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, now we have Anderson
I'm not
and
even going to
AJ.
talk about.
Yeah.
I'm not even.
Well, I mean, Tracy would only be going in the footsteps of, say, where Kimberly Page went before. So
No more tangents. I'm not even going to talk about this match because there's only one thing of note. At one point during the match, AJ goes for a springboard onto Kaz, but Daniels runs across the ropes and hits him. And Jeremy Borash, I swear to God, says Daniels really had that move scouted. You know, these matches really start to get predictable when they've happened so many times.
you mean Mike Tenay?
Ah!
But
Yes,
yeah, the point stands.
Mike Tenay said this match is predictable.
How fucking sad is that?
Hello,
Well,
Compton.
Styles and Daniels have wrestled each other almost as often as Flair and Steamboat did. So,
What about Ray and Psychosis?
or Ray and Hoovy,
Or Ray and pretty much anyone in WCW.
except for Kevin Nash, that only happened 3 times, and Nash beat the crap out of him in the last 2. Funny how that goes. Anyway,
So yeah, we have this match. This match went on for fucking ever.
Yeah, because I literally started to get up to go do shit while this match was on. It was just boring me. I mean, and when AJ Styles is in a match that's boring me, what's up, TNA? You're doing something wrong here. This guy's
I
one of the
might have
best
to get
wrestlers
chocolate
in the
milk
entire
at this
goddamn
point.
world.
It's
What
because
the fuck?
It's because they just keep having AJ do the same thing. He just keeps feuding with Daniels. That's all they're going to let him do.
This guy should be their Rey Mysterio. Their holy shit. You have to see what this guy does, and you will fall in love with him. He's fucking amazing.
He used to be that.
Shit.
He used to be that back when Chris Sabin was drop kicking him off the Ultimate X. Now he's just. They tried to make him Ric Flair younger, but that didn't work at all. And then they made him bland, boring face. That didn't work at all.
Yeah, they try to do everything except what would obviously work, which is, holy shit, this guy can do awesome stuff, and he can wrestle almost any type of match.
Yeah, someone in WWE needs to find him and offer him a ton of money to leave TNA because he's not. No.
He's friends with CM Punk, right? They're bros.
He was a potential at one point. He declined the job because his girlfriend was going through college education, I think, or something.
I think when they actually offered him a job, it was before he was actually anybody had heard of him. He was just a indie guy who'd worked for WCW for a little while, and he might have been a TNA undercarder at that point. I don't know. But point is, all they offered him was a developmental gig, which paid like $500 a week. And he's like, no, I make a lot more than that now where I'm at. And they're like, take it or leave it. Fuck you.
Yeah, I don't.
this-
I doubt he's making that much anymore, considering all the road expenses. The man
I'm sure he's
probably
making
had.
at least $500 a month.
The man probably had to pay for his own plane ticket to the UK tour.
He did?
They don't recoup travel expenses, do they?
I'm sure
Sometimes.
they did for Hogan.
Well, that's Hogan.
It's
Yeah,
Hogan,
not
and
a
they're
guy
willing
who
to
can
suck his
wrestle.
cock. So
So
We're
yeah,
almost
that
through this
match
show
happened.
because
It was.
we've got another Jeremy Borash and Twitter nonsense backstage. This time with Kurt Angle.
Wait, we didn't say who won. We didn't say who won.
Does
Anderson
anyone
and
care?
AJ.
Does anyone
Anderson
care?
and Styles, there,
anyone
they
raise your
won.
hand? Anyone out there? Anyone care? Anyone care? No, fuck it. Move
Styles
on.
pin Kazarian.
No.
Yes,
AJ and Anderson win. I don't
And the
remember how. I
fans
don't
still
care.
lose.
and there was a
And the-
there was a neat finishing sequence where they were just going back and forth with a bunch of reversals, and it looked cool because it's AJ and Kazarian, and then they've done it 1,000 times, and it worked. But just the match itself kind of went on forever, and crowd couldn't tell who they're supposed to be cheering or not. And Kazarian
Again.
and Daniels were a tag team who couldn't get along. And yeah, so and during the match, they occasionally cut to ringside to show Dixie Carter sitting there, along with the famous celebrity superstar Josh Lewis.
Yeah,
Who?
Dixie looked on.
I really have never heard of him.
Who apparently he's one of those guys off of one of those reality
Oh yeah,
shows.
we were
Repo
actually
games.
talking about this last night. It's apparently a repo show where that's also a quiz show that sounds way better than Victory Road.
Mm.
Yeah.
A repo show that's also a quiz show?
Yeah, apparently if
Answer
you win the
questions-
quiz, you
answer,
keep your
you
car.
answer questions right, they don't repo your car.
That's fucking stupid!
Yes, it
Brilliant
is.
compared to TNA.
Yes, it is.
And at least it's something. No, I'm not going to get off on this tangent. Oh my god, I am so frustrated with the show already.
Yeah, JB is backstage with Kurt Angle on the Twitter wall. Angle is talking to his son about Jeff Hardy, and now he's gonna beat the shit out of him. He rips into Jeff Hardy and everything. We get Kurt Angle versus Jeff Hardy. This match goes on for fucking ever. Kurt Angle wins.
Stop it!
Moving on.
Cedric, slow down. First off, Kurt,
Gonna
stop
beat
talking
the
about your
shit out of Kurt
goddamn
Angle.
kid.
What?
Kurt, stop talking about your goddamn kid. No, none of us care about him.
Although the way he did, just staring into the camera with that creepy dead eyes and the smile, I was amused by that.
Man didn't fucking blink.
Yeah. And then they started the match, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. Kurt Angle's fucking awesome, even now. Just everything he does, every little movement, every mannerism, the way this guy executes his moves, just everything this guy does, he's just on another plane from most wrestlers, including Jeff Hardy, could ever hope to be.
This match was not all that good because, you know, last year we had Mr. Anderson and RVD, and those were two guys that had no chemistry together.
At all.
This year
They
we have
just
Kurt Angle and
guessed,
Jeff
man.
Hardy. And I don't know what happened between now and their match at No Surrender back in 2010, which we actually got included in the video package beforehand. Like, this match already happened. But it just wasn't very good. I mean, at the very least, Jeff Hardy wasn't stoned off his ass this time.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, by the way, matches that already happened, which match we skipped an important point? Was it where during the tail of the tape thing that they actually mentioned as like an important point that this is a rematch from Impact?
Yes! Yes!
I think it was the Zima Ion
Yeah.
Austin Aries.
Yeah, it's like, this
Like-
match happened on free TV. Give
You
us your
paid to see-
monies.
You've already paid, you stupid fucks.
So don't forget, also, Kurt Angle versus Jeff Hardy probably happened a few times in the WWF 10 years ago.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, but they can't show that footage.
No, they can't.
Oh, but the match was meh. I mean,
This went way too long, too.
Jeff Hardy's breaking down, guys. I swear, he's getting worse.
What do you expect? What do you expect when he paints his eyelids with eyes?
That just doesn't look right.
That
I
might
am deeply unsettled by
that might
that.
be some lead-based paint that he's using.
If you've ever
Maybe
seen
that
his-
explains what happened last year. That just hit me. Oh my God, guys! I've cracked the secret of Victory Road.
What?
Jeff Hardy uses lead-based face paint.
You win.
Holy fuck, that explains everything.
Kind of makes sense because the crazier Jeff is at any particular time, it seems like the more face paint he's wearing.
Remember when he first went crazy back in 2008 and they let him beat The Undertaker clean on TV?
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember back in that Good Wrestling show. Why? Why do we do this? Why?
I take the worst Undertaker match in history. I take Undertaker versus Giant Gonzalez at WrestleMania 9 10 times over one of these Victory Road pay-per-views. I think Jingus is broken.
Oh, he's been broken for a while now. Let's just finish up talking about this match so we can get this over with. Kurt Angle takes a shot into the steps. He blades and gets back in the ring. No sells a twist of fate. Counters the Swanton Bomb and gets the pin. Oh, and Jingus, it's with a roll-up.
I think Jingus just died.
Man.
All the air rushed out of Jingus's throat, and he died of suffocation from this stupid finish.
Whoa. God, that was weird. Guys, oh man, I'm sorry. I'm in the middle of showing you guys matches and I fell asleep.
Did you go to Wrestling Hell?
Dream. Yeah, dude. I felt like we were watching this awful TNA pay-per-view, and then like during the one match that looked like it was gonna be good, my pay-per-view died, and then someone told me it ended with a roll-up. Jesus,
Jingus,
it's worse than my tarantula.
Jingus. It was all for real.
Oh. Don't fuck with me like that, man.
Jingus, you need to lay off the herbal sandwiches.
I haven't had any in months. I've ran out of money.
This is what you get for putting mushrooms on your pizza.
It was just pepperoni. What you done? I thought it was a dream. It wasn't a.
As you can see, Mr. Jingus has gone mad.
In heaven, everything is fine. In heaven, everything is fine. You got yours. I got mine.
Oh, God. Oh.
All right, let's finish this.
In 5 years, we're going to be watching this backward, and we're going to be thinking, what the fuck were we on?
Oh.
Kurt Angle wins.
No.
Thankfully, we're done with Jeremy Borash and his Twitter wall.
Well, that makes sense because now they can continue the feud forever and ever and ever.
Thankfully, though, we're done with Jeremy Borash and his Twitter wall. We get a promo for the main event, and we go right into Sting versus Bobby Roode in a no-holds-barred match. Good God, this sucked.
I mean, Sting in 2012. What do you expect?
Crowd chants, "You still got it" at Sting. No, he really.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't. He really didn't. He didn't. Not at all tonight.
Why does Sting still wrestle?
They didn't even remember 6 years ago when Sting first came back to TNA and he did that really good looking drop kick on Jeff Jarrett and they did the "You Still Got It" on him.
Yeah,
this time he just punched Bobby Roode and he gets 2 "You Still Got It" chants.
Well, compared to some other men of his age, he is in excellent physical condition.
This match was lame. For a no-holds-barred match, all they did was throw each other into the barricade and hit each other with chairs occasionally.
What?
It could have
Why
been
does
worse.
Sting still wrestle?
It could have been worse. We could have had Brooke Hogan getting into a spot.
Hmm. And just wait, because we do have female involvement with non-wrestlers soon.
The finish is probably the most retarded thing I've ever seen, because Sting hits the Scorpion Death Drop on Rude, but at the same time hits his head on a chair that he failed to notice, despite the fact that he specifically moved himself into position to get hit by it.
Bobby
Well,
Roode gets the
clearly-
pin, covers Sting, and then we have after the match
Oh,
shenanigans.
hold on. That's not the worst. Actually, I did see Sting do something like a lot worse than that in a match I watched recently. Sting versus Bret Hart, which you'd think would be a good match in 1998, you know? At Halloween Havoc 1998.
Oh dear God!
And in the middle of many of the stupidest spots I've ever seen in my life, including one where the referee is stretched out in the middle of the ring and they keep doing spots over him, including like we could not land on that referee with this superplex. Or at one point, Brett is huddled over one of into the corner, and so he's got he's taking that Bret Hart bump into the corner that always looks so great. Sting goes for a Stinger Splash, hits a completely ordinary Stinger Splash, and falls over limp. And what they're trying to sell us is that, he hit his head on the turnbuckle, doing his own finishing move that he's done 1,000 times and never fucked up before, and it looked completely ordinary. But he hit his head on the corner. So it's Sting. By this point, he's just like, yeah, man, whatever.
But here's the question.
That is
though.
why it
Wait,
was good.
Here's the question: Was it was at Halloween Havoc? Was that match worse than Hogan versus Warrior?
The only reason nobody remembers that match is because of Hogan Warrior. Otherwise, they'd be like, man, remember that one time where Sting and Brett had the fucking worst match of the night?
So yeah, this match happens and Bobby Roode wins and whatever. But then we get the after the match stuff. Picks up a chair. He goes to where Dixie's sitting, and he picks Dixie up and throws her in the ring. And the crowd starts chanting for Hogan.
No!
They start chanting for Hogan. Dixie goes over to Sting, and Rude calls her a bitch. Yay. And then Rude puts Dixie in the corner, and he...
Nobody puts Dixie in a corner.
Yeah, but stuff happens, and Bobby Roode knocks Sting with the chair, and then he duct tapes him to the rope.
Duct tape? Are you serious?
Obviously, they're trying
that low.
Hey, they've used duct tape in matches before. I remember one specific instance.
Oh my God, Genghis! Are you going to do this every time you remember something?
This is me. This is Rick.
I remember that James Storm didn't come to save Sting or Dixie because he was drinking beer.
You know what?
But yeah,
if you got
stuff with duct tape happened.
You know what? If you've got an interesting wrestling story, tell it to us after we're done with the show. The rest of you people, fuck you. We had to watch this shit.
But yeah, that happens, and he duct tapes Sting to the ropes, and Dixie tries to take the duct tape off, stupid woman, and he takes the chair, and he starts, stuff with the chair, and, Dixie starts crying, and Rude's yelling, and whatever. Fade to black. This show's fucking over!
And what do you think the chances are of any type of repercussions against Rude are?
None.
Consequences.
He's spitting.
They will
I'm
never be
sure
the
they
same.
would do something.
He
That wouldn't
physically
be right.
he physically assaulted this woman previously, and nothing happened.
No, many people have physically assaulted Dixie in the past and got away with it. Sting did it. Abyss did it.
Yet she never takes a real bomb.
You know, I really don't get what they're trying to do with Rude. Are they like trying to have him just be a complete asshole all year until Bound for Glory when Hogan beats him for the title?
Yay!
'Cause that's what I'm putting. That's what I'm putting.
This show sucks. What the? My mind's breaking. It's trying to conform. It's trying to say that if I have to watch this, it's like the Reavers. I must join with them. Not that. Anything but I'm Lars.
Oh fuck!
This show was awesome.
Fuck, that's free.
Genghis isn't just broken, he's fallen off.
His mind collapsed into a Lars singularity.
You guys just love the WWE.
Fuck, that's 2.
I'm Lars.
That's free.
Don't make me do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Oh my god. I'm Lars! Hey guys, how you doing tonight? Did you see Vince? That show was hot.
No.
Oh, what's wrong, Genghis? You didn't like it? What's not to like? They were talking about Twitter all night.
Lars, I will eat your unborn children.
I regained control of my left hand and took my fork and stabbed my right hand until I came back to my senses.
I'm Lars!
Lars?
That's good.
Hey,
Go the
where's-
fuck away.
You in the Christian manner, Lars.
Hey,
I will nail you to a cross!
everybody, where's Knox, the WWE fanboy?
I'm Lars!
I will rip your entrails out for your ears. Now go away, Lars.
You don't think
You
that's
don't-
physically
don't-
possible? Hey, did you guys know that TNA was the first people to ever use Twitter to get over their talent? And they actually respond to people's comments, not like the WWE. Hey, you guys are the
What?
Garrett Bischoff. Garrett Bischoff.
You guys are the ones who
What?
now you're stuck with them. I'm Lars!
What gets more screen time?
Mega Fighter, you idiot! Chanting Garrett Bischoff 3 times just brings him to his full power.
Oh fuck.
The show has lost its mind.
I'm
What gets more
Lars!
screen time? What gets more screen time than Jay Lethal?
Alright, fuck it. Oh, our Breaking Sanity gets more screen time than Jay Lethal.
Bubba Ray's calves get more screen
We
time.
do that every freaking time!
Twitter gets more
sorry.
screen time than Jay Lethal. As a matter of fact, Twitter gets more screen time than everyone in fucking TNA.
Yeah, the Twitter monitor behind TNA and Taz gets more screen time than Jay Lethal.
And Brooke Hogan gets more screen time than Jay Lethal.
Fuck it, I'm
You
taking it.
animal. And with that,
No,
we are
not done, because I
We're
got
not.
this shit.
Fuck you! We're done! Why?
Don't forget to subscribe to us on Blip TV or YouTube to keep up to date with all our videos. You can also like us on Facebook and leave comments on our page. You can also follow us on Twitter. Hey, we mentioned that less than TNA. And all our individual Twitters, except Genghis because he's too old to know what that is.
You youngies and your internet. I'll get on the information superhighway one of these days.
We're also on TRE Productions. Check us out there along with lots of other awesome content. And there's also...
Fucking Jim in the chat. Twitter nonstop action.
We're also on Utopia in the community section. And last but not least, visit us on the Spoonie Experiment forums and shoot the shit with us. We'll talk to you. That's
Don't
gonna
bite.
do it. Until next year when we lose our minds again. I am your foxy friend Backlash.
I'm Genghis.
I'm Mega Fighter 3 and I'm gonna go punch something.
And I'm Subrick. Good night. Go watch some good wrestling.
And I'm Lars!